Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's a beautiful, chilly morning here in northern Nevada, and spring is definitely on its way, but we're not out of the woods yet. We've got the pussy willows starting to bloom, but also still freezing temperatures and little bits of snow. So, typical spring. But it's a great day because I get to be with you and talk about cross stitching, which is super fun. Now, usually we do stitching in action. I don't actually have anything to share this week, but as always, if you've stitched a blue flower design, I would love to hear from you and get a photo so I can put it on the website. If you are thinking of stitching a blue flower design, the website has a page called Stitching in Action where you can look at what other stitchers have done and be inspired by their creativity. So check it out. On to what I'm stitching. Well, brief interjection here. You may notice the office door is closed, which it isn't usually, but this is the time when the dogs would typically go for a walk, and they're very eager to come in and encourage me to get moving. So as soon as I finish filming this, we're going to go do that and give them what they need so very much. But until then, I have to close the door so they don't come in and help. Okay, what I'm stitching, I've been working on Elizabeth Cooper from Fox and Rabbit, and you may have seen some of my whining online about those over ones. I did not realize that whole center rose is over one. I was thinking this is a quick and easy little stitch. It's like a mini sampler, and it is everything except that one bit in the middle. So I've got about half of it done, and yeah, I need a break before I tackle the other half. Those over ones on 40 count are, whew, man, I don't know how they did it. But I have to tell you, this has been a really fun stitch, and I love the way it's coming out. I actually took it with me to market and talk a little bit about travel stitching later. But yeah, I was able to get some more border done. I did not do any over ones on the road for sure, but I'm really excited. I have set it aside right now to do a little bit of model stitching, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to that one, and I'll be able to finish it quickly so I can get my new market starts going. So yeah, good times. All right, stash spotlight. The next few videos, we're going to be sure we have some things from the Needlework Market. As many of you know, I was there last weekend, and it was a great time as always, but I did bring home a few things. These are something I hadn't seen before, and these were at the Scissors booth. They're actually next to the one that I have at market. And these are books from the Library of DMC, and they're really interesting because they have all of these sort of historical alphabets, other things that DMC has done. And in particular, I was looking at one of them that again has multiple alphabets. So if you're ever, stuck and you want to do a monogram or something like that, it's a good option. But it also has these lovely little borders and motifs. A lot of times when I'm stitching a sampler, I will want to change the verse or do something different, and maybe just having an element that you can plunk right in for yourself, for your own stitching, is a very handy thing to have. So I got a couple of these great books. I don't know what they're called in English, but they're just from the Library of DMC, and yeah, really fun options to have there. So that's one of the few things that I brought home from market. There will be more, but wanted to share that with you. All right, on to the world around. This time I have chosen the marshmallow, the plant, because I was working on a design that actually featured marshmallow, the candy, and you may have heard in the past that my husband and son, they really hate marshmallow. So I did give him a warning about this video and made it clear it was about the plant, but I happen to love marshmallows. This, however, is the flower, Althea officinalis, which I understand means literally healing plant that is sold in shops. This is a very old native plant to Europe and Africa. The ancient Romans, Chinese, Egyptians, and Syrians used the roots as a food source. Water, which the roots have been boiled in, can actually still be used as a substitute for egg whites. And the ancient Egyptians used the sap to soothe sore throats, treat skin infections, that sort of thing. The sap produces it's sap. It's kind of sticky and mucilaginous, gelatinous maybe, I don't know. But you can put it on your skin to sort of form a protective coating. It's also used for a lot of intestinal issues, even stomach ulcers, and it does the same thing. It forms a protective coating on the lining of your stomach and digestive system, and can help with an irritated throat or for coughs, that sort of thing. So yeah, you can chew the leaves and roots. There's a lot of indication that this may be a treatment that's coming back into usefulness again, which is always nice to see. However, the link to the design is that in the first half of the 18th century, French confectioners developed the marshmallow treat, what we think of as a marshmallow, by mixing the sap with egg whites and sugar and then forming it into shapes. So it was a laborious and finicky process, and now what we consider marshmallows are generally made with gelatin rather than with sap from the marshmallow plant, but they've kept the name, and that was the tie-in. Incidentally, it's a plant in the mallow family, which grows in the marshes. Hence the name. I do like things that are just nice and clear. The mallow family also includes hollyhocks, okra, hibiscus, huge family, so lots of good stuff there. But that was this week's World Around. Next time you're having a s'more on the beach or anything with a marshmallow in it, you'll know that it goes all the way back to ancient Rome and a wild plant growing in the salty marshes. So there you go. All right, questions. Last video, I asked what was the new market release you were most looking forward to. I'm still sticking with the lovely dogs from Plum Street Sampler, the Dachshunds. I didn't get to see Paulette when I was at market, which was a bummer. I think a lot of times we were out or busy at different times, but I definitely pre-ordered that chart, and I think it's on the way to me right now, so I should have that very soon. I'm really excited about that. And of course, there were tons of new things to see at market, things I hadn't been aware of before that I got to see the models for. Always wonderful, so you'll definitely be seeing some of that over the next few videos. Question this video: do you like to stitch while traveling? And I'm kind of hit and miss on stitching while traveling. Sometimes I will do it. On the plane, for example, I usually try and book a seat on the left-hand aisle because I'm right-handed, and so that way when I'm stitching, I'm not just waving my arm in front of my seat neighbor all the time. So if it's a long flight and not very bumpy, I will definitely stitch on the plane. If it's not market, I will set up and stitch in my hotel room. I don't tend to get a lot of stitching done during market just because I don't like putting my stitching down and having to find my place again. And market is definitely all about stopping and talking to people. So I don't get a lot of stitching done, but since the project that I took with me had a lot of repeating border, I was able to work on that, and that's nice for planes and airport stitching. So I was just curious what you feel about travel stitching and if it's something you like to do. Best thing this video, coming home. I love coming home. And I was texting my husband the little updates as we were getting closer to the house, and he brought right out in front to see me, so I got sniffed before I even set foot inside. Although probably two best things, because market is also always a best thing. I did a tiny bit better job this year of actually posting while I was there, so for once you don't have to rely on other people's photographs to prove that I was in Nashville. I think I took like 3 or 4 pictures, which for me is quite a bit. So that was good. It's just always a really good time of year. So it's lovely. My friend Sharon, who goes with me, was down talking to people at the front desk of the hotel, and one of the workers said, you can just feel the joy. Everybody seems so happy when they're here, and I think that's definitely true, because we're very excited. We get to talk about one of our very favorite things with some of our very favorite people. So yeah, it's a really good time. Moving on to giveaway. Last video, this beautiful When I Think of Flowers chart by Puntini, featuring lovely spring flowers. Use the word flower, and the winner is at Shasta Stitches. So drop me an email and I will mail that for you. Now, this time, the giveaway is the new threads from Gentle Art, and I'm going to give you the whole little packet. I actually go to the booth and buy the new threads in multiples so that I have some to give away, but they also give us a packet, this little pouch with a couple of stitching tools, pencils, sharpener, eraser, ruler, that sort of thing, and all the lovely new threads, which I've got here. Let's see, we've got 4, and then I'll hold them up one at a time. This is Toffee. This is one of their wools, and Toffee is actually a color that I really like in their cotton thread, but I don't think they had it in wool. This one is Eggplant's beautiful, rich, purpley brown. Lovely. And then Chestnut, another great brown. Cerulean. Doesn't that make you want to go on vacation? Oh, lovely. And then Key Lime, which is another great color. So I actually have my little packet with my tools from last year, so I didn't want to hoard, but I will give you this year's packet and all of the new threads. Use the word candy because we're going on the theme of toffee and marshmallows, and we'll pick a winner for the next video. On to announcements. I may get out a newsletter this weekend. I haven't decided for sure. If I don't, I'll go ahead and wait until April and do sort of market recap and April newsletter all at once. I'm also excited to announce that I'll be at a retreat in October. And I wasn't going to do any more, but Lois called and asked me, and I say yes to Lois always because she's great. So I will be at Bee Youtiful Sip Stitchery with Lois, and I'm going to be doing a drum design because Lois is teaching a finishing class about how to finish a drum. And then I will have a drum design that you can practice on once you feel more confident with that. I did have a question though, for those of you who might be attending the retreat or who have done something similar. Would you prefer to have the design first so you can pre-stitch the drum and finish it while you're there with Lois in front of you, or would you prefer to have it be a surprise when you get there? So let me know what you think because I haven't decided yet. We've got a nice long puppy video here at the end. I missed my dogs so much when I was gone, but I got lots of photographs from them at home, and I'm very lucky because there's a dog that comes to one of the booths on the same floor as I am at market, so I can just hop down the hall, and it's a very nice dog who lets random people come in and give pets, so get a little bit of a fix for that. So that's actually it for me today. I'm gonna go ahead and got my market boxes back last night, so get everything unpacked, stowed away for next year, and yeah, enjoy some time at home being scruffy instead of presentable. I had to wear my wigs all of last weekend, so I'm taking a little bit of time off to enjoy not doing that, but as fun as they are, it's nice to have change. I like variety. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you are really enjoying some cross-stitch time today from something old or something new, or yeah, whatever you need to feed your spirit today. It was lovely to see you, and I will chat with you again in 2 weeks.